Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the School District of Springfield Township Board of School Directors regular board meeting, February 16th, 2016. We had an executive session at 6:15 p.m. this evening to discuss a legal matter. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Reading of the mission statement. Ms. Casales, would you do the honors?
The mission of the School District of Springfield Township is to educate and develop all students as learners and citizens who are high-achieving, resilient, and responsible in a changing global community.
Thank you. Roll call.
Mr. Chapman. Here. Ms. Casales. Here. Mr. Lapidus. Here. Ms. Nelson.
Here.
Mr. Rayer. Ms. Sarsfield.
Here.
Dr. Taratusky. Here. Mr. Taylor. Ms. Lipinski.
Here. Announcements. The board, at its discretion, may videotape all or any portion of public board meetings subject to the limitations set forth in Policy 006.2, Broadcasting of Meetings. Board meetings will be broadcast on Friday afternoon following the board meeting. Are there any public comments on agenda items? Approval of minutes. January 19th, 2015, regular meeting, board minutes I. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman. Aye. Ms. Casales. Aye. Mr. Lapidus. Aye. Ms. Nelson.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski.
Aye. Approval of Treasurer's Report. Treasurer's Report F. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Mr. King?
Mr. Chapman. Aye. Ms. Casales. Aye. Mr. Lapidus. Aye. Ms. Nelson.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski.
Aye. Reports and information. Reports of committees. Academic Affairs Committee, Dr. Karen Taratusky.
The Academic Affairs Committee met on January 21st.
Excuse me.
Thanks.
Academic Affairs Committee met on January the 21st, and we were joined by Dr. Hacker, Dr. Atkinson's, Catherine Sarsfield-Lewis Sarsfield, and John Chapman was also there. Ben Rayer was not able to join us at that meeting. We reviewed the curriculum revision process for English language arts curriculum in the district, particularly at the elementary level. We talked about the guidance curriculum review process, the timelines for that, and we're going to be entering into a review of the guidance curriculum, particularly in the elementary and middle school levels, I believe. We talked a little bit about the progress of Chromebooks, which I think we're going to hear a little bit about from our students this evening. And also on the agenda, there are 6 educational equity goals that are aimed at establishing equity for all students in the district. And the board is going to be voting on the adoption of those goals for the district. And those are going to be implemented through activities by the administrators in the district and by Dr. Hacker. And talking a little bit about exploring competency-based educational experiences as some possibilities for inclusion in our future curriculum. Is there anything that you want to add, Dr. Hacker? No, I think you covered it all. Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments about?
Administrative Report, Dr. Nancy Hacker.
I have no report this evening, so if it's okay with you, Mrs. Lipinski, I'll just go right into introducing our presentation. I know our students are very, very anxious to be able to demonstrate everything that they have been working on since the start of the school year using their Chromebooks. Unfortunately, Mr. Oliver was not able to be here this evening. He had some medical issues, and he was going to be able to present some very interesting statistics regarding the use of the Chromebooks. But actually, I think going right into the presentation is going to be even more exciting for our audience members who are here and for our students and staff who are so eager to show everyone what they have been working on. And as we all know, when you see it, it makes it a lot easier to understand exactly what has been transpiring. So I'm going to allow Mr. McLaurin, the principal of Erdenheim, to talk about how we're going to handle the 4 stations that are up and running this evening. It's going to be a wonderful opportunity for both our board members as well as our audience members to actually get up and take a look at some of the different apps and tools that the students have been using in order to use their Chromebooks throughout the year. So, Mr. McLaurin, there he is. The poll was in my way. And Dr. McCarthy and Jess Rodoff, our tech teacher.
Good evening, everyone. Is this on? Just want to make sure that this is on. So we wanted to take the time to say thank you to the board for just continuing on with this technology initiative to allow us to expose our students to this technology. It's been exciting for us to sit back and watch how our teachers and our students have been able to interact with these devices over the past couple of months. So what you're going to see tonight is just a few months of our students being exposed to these devices, but we hope that you see a lot of different things in terms of them showing what they've been able to do and learn as a result of having access to this technology. So on behalf of Dr. McCarthy and I and all of Erdenheim, we just want to say thank you for that.
So good evening, everyone, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to share with you a little bit about what our students have been doing with the Chromebooks on a daily basis. So to set the scene, this is elementary school, which means we get up and we move and we collaborate with one another. So you're all going to be doing that. Mrs. Rodoff is going to share with you exactly what it is that you're going to do. And members of the audience, please feel free to get up. Please feel free to walk around, go to the different centers. There's 4. I'm going to tell you what they are in a minute. But just so you have a little bit of an idea as to what is it that the students are doing on a daily basis with the Chromebooks. So we basically have 4 different stations. We've categorized them into feedback, which is where Mrs. Schulteis and Mrs. Yoder are standing back here over there in the corner. They're going to talk a little bit about Padlet and Google Classroom questions. The second one is collaboration with Mr. Michael Koppel in the back. And he and the students are going to be showing you exactly what they do with using Google Slides. Our third one over here is citizenship, where Mr. Meyer is over here. And he's going to be showing you, along with the students, what Digital Passport is all about. Finally, over here, our last group is our development team, which is Mr. Hicks and Mrs. Ben, and they're going to show you a little bit about what they're doing with Storybird and VoiceThread. So before we go ahead and break you all up, Mrs. Rodoff, our amazing instructional coach, works very closely with the teachers, the students, administration as far as DI, which is differentiated instruction. And so we've also incorporated a little bit of DI into this model so you get a glimpse of how the Chromebooks are being used coupled with differentiated instruction. So Mrs. Rodoff is going to share with you exactly what our next steps are. But thank you.
Thank you. So this is the Chromebook experience at Erdenheim. If you take a look up here, as Dr. McCarthy has already explained, we've got 4 umbrella areas and topics. Each of you will be asked and invited to join the students at a specific station. The stations are feedback, collaboration, citizenship, and creation. So your task is to take a look, and in front of each of you is a color-coded handout. That color is going to represent which station you're going to go to and visit. So we're going to ask you to join your group in a few minutes. You're going to listen, ask questions, take notes if you want. We've provided an opportunity for you to, little space for you to write some notes down. And you're going to then be asked to compare notes with your similar colored sheet person and then share out. So what we're going to be using is an instructional strategy that teachers use in their classroom often. It's called an expert's jigsaw. So each of you will become an expert on one of the stations, and then you will be responsible for sharing out to the other board members what you learned at that station. Okay? So we're going to have 7 minutes to visit and talk and share. We're going to invite the audience to mosey around and listen and ask questions as well. So if there aren't any questions, we're going to ask you to get up and move. Tablecloth, sorry. So match to your tablecloth. We got the blue is back. We have white, green, and yellow. So you'll be going there. Okay, so I think our 2 minutes is up. What we're going to do is ask, our first group will be the feedback group. That is the blue table. If you would please share your 3 points.
Yes. So first of all, great job to the students back there, blue team. Awesome. Really, really great. They did really a fabulous job. Yeah. I was telling them some of the strategies that they were pointing out that they use in class are ones that my own 16-year-old is using, studying for the SAT, and in the way that she approaches her studying. So they're on their way, for sure. As far as their lesson, what I took from that, I think it's awesome that all of the kids can share their ideas. They can share them, so you'll have kids that maybe are a little more shy or reserved or don't feel confident with maybe raising their hand and presenting that idea, but they can all do it anonymously, pops up. In keeping with that, I think what's awesome is that the kids then all get access to other students' ideas. And that may spark a student to say, oh, wow, I didn't think about it like that. And that can kind of prompt like a brainstorming type of session where you get to see different people's perspectives, and it can get you to think outside the box. And I think also a great aspect is that the teacher can then make sure that the kids are on track. Are they grasping the main ideas? Are they following the lesson? Are they on the right page? And then they can give feedback. And then another part of the lesson they showed where they can answer certain questions that the teacher presents, and the other students can also reply and give positive feedback and be like, yeah, great point, good job, and then the learning from each other. So I think the brainstorming and the collaboration and the ability that that gives for every student to feel that they can contribute no matter how they feel about contributing is just an amazing aspect of that program. So thank you, teachers, and thank you, students.
That's great. Thank you so much. So the feedback really focuses on, our station focused on 2 programs, one being Padlet and the other being Google Classroom, which is an embedded piece of the GAF system of Google. Both of those allow for the feedback not only for the students, but most importantly, it's for the teachers as well. And as you said, it really can provide teachers with a lot of valuable information to decide where to go with the class and who needs more help and who does the whole lesson need to be retaught. So thank you very much for sharing the feedback. Now our next group is going to be the collaboration group. That's the white group. Will you please share?
Okay, I'm going to second Ms. Casalius's comments. The presentation you girls did was fabulous. Congratulations, and it looks like you're doing a lot of hard work in your class. The girls were working on the same slide presentation so that they could do research on a particular topic, and their topic was Piedmont, it's areas of Pennsylvania. So they were working on the same slides within the same presentation, and they could share information among themselves. What was really interesting was that they not only were sharing the information about the project, but they were also learning to make decisions about how to present information, how to present text and colors and size and design and shape, and then how to work with each other to make common decisions about what would really look good. And so they're learning all about, basically two different things, the topic and the process of presenting. And the interesting thing was that they can also do research from just right there within the program that's filtered for them, and then that they can also use some good decision-making about which sources are good, reliable sources to use for their information and which ones may not be. So, it's not just learning about one topic. This is really an integrated learning experience for them. It's really good to see.
Great. So the collaboration piece is really important in that the students are working together for a common goal, and the presentation that they shared with the rest of the class was the culmination of all of their research, all of their decision making and problem solving within creating that slide presentation. So great job. Now for our citizen group, that's the citizenship, that's the yellow group.
So our students did a great job as well. Thank you so much for walking us through. So what we looked at was the digital citizenship curriculum, which is the digital passport, and we walked through a program that they play. They go through and have a conversation with Mr. Meyer, and then they actually go and they play a program on the computer, on the Chromebook, which is called Shared Jumper, and it walks through a video of a situation that may happen to students, that they may have shared something that they may not have wanted to share on the internet, and kind of things that might come up because of that. So Mr. Meyer gave an example of writing something on a piece of paper, and that if you write it really hard and then you erase it, it doesn't really erase. And same thing occurs online. If you write something, it doesn't really go away, it's out there. And so it's such a really important lesson for all of our students. So they walk through these lessons in a video, and then they actually get to play a game with on the Chromebook. So it's a really great opportunity for them to learn, and then have this program, teach them what the right choices are, what the wrong choices are in an online community. So it was a great, great lesson. I really appreciated hearing all about it. So, Walter, do you have anything else that you'd like to add?
Oh, no, I do want to single out Talar, who, no, she was fabulous. We should have the skill to speak in front of a group of strangers like you did. You did a great job. And the other three of you, great listeners. Awesome. Nice job. But I wish we had this lesson a year ago, and my kids were, that Snapchat is not like that. It stays, and that we need to be very careful. If you want to insult someone, do it in person. So much easier.
Wise words from Walter.
Thank you. So the Citizenship Digital Passport is a program that Mr. Meyer does use with his technology classes in 4th and 5th grade to talk about responsible use of the devices that we do have. And our final group is going to be the Creation and Development group.
So I was very excited to be part of this station because I am a graphic designer, and I got to see 2 different types of software where you can create multimedia presentations or stories or books. So we got to see lots of really cool presentations that I know from looking at them took a lot of time and effort to put together. So thanks very much, guys, for sharing today. It was really great to see your work. So we saw a presentation from VoiceThread where they were able to record what they wanted to say and time that along with images that went with what they were talking about. They told us that one of the benefits of that is that they got to pre-record it, so they don't have to say it live or read it in front of the classroom. It's already done. So I thought that that was a really good point. Then we got to see another type of software called Storybird, where you can actually write a book and put pictures with it and add a title slide and add a summary. And then if you want to, you can even post that story on the Storybird website. So anyone can go in and see your work. You can write details about your book. So if someone was searching for a certain grade level, they would be able to find it. And in the Storybird software, I was curious to know whether it had autocorrect for when they're typing, if it did correct their spelling errors automatically. And they told me no, but it did indicate if something was spelled wrong, and then they would have to go and look it up. So that's what we learned at the Creation Station.
All right,
Anything
thank you.
else?
So we wanted to just give you a small snippet of what the Erdenheim experience with the Chromebooks has been. This is just a little snapshot of all the great things that have been happening. There are lots more projects. We could have filled the auditorium or even like the gym with more groups to present. So we wanted to thank you for allowing us this opportunity to share with you, but also to, to give us the opportunity to use these devices. It's really transformed our teaching.
I'd also like to take this time to thank you, Mrs. Rudolph, for kind of helping us facilitate all this and all your work. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you. Definitely. I think it's also, students, want to thank all of you because you are able to share all the things that you're doing inside the classroom on a daily basis. Because we could have came up and we could have shared a PowerPoint and showed pictures about what you're doing, but there's so much power just to sit back and listen to each of you communicate to people you don't know about the things that you're doing in school. And so for us just to stand back, I think we all would agree, this was awesome for us to sit back and see you share all the things that you've been able to do with just a few months of having these devices. So thank you so much for being willing to come out and do this tonight. But more importantly, thank you for being amazing students and taking on this use of technology in a responsible and a respectful manner and using it the right way, which is to help you learn in school. So thank you so much. So can we give our students another round of applause? Thank you. And as Mrs. Rudolph shared, this is just a snippet. Our teachers have been embracing this use of technology. They have, they've taken on trying different things. So in just a few months, they've done professional development, they've asked questions, they've tried to do so many different things and take risks in using this technology in their classes. And you want to know something? As they've been learning, so have the kids. And it's been an equally shared learning opportunity within the teachers and the students, which has created an amazing dynamic within our school community. So for teachers, for all of your hard work, we want to say thank you as well for all the things that you've been doing, and thank you so much for coming out again tonight, because if you weren't willing to take on this challenge and take on this awesome opportunity to use the technology, I don't know if the students would be as comfortable as they were tonight. So can we give our teachers a round of applause? And once again, we just want to say thank you to the board for continuing to support us and to support this initiative, because as you can see, from the elementary level, we're really working to try to prepare our students to be productive, respectful, and really good citizens in this day and age where the use of technology is all around us. So once again, thank you so much for this presentation.
And Mr. McLaurin, let me just piggyback on what you said by reminding the board that it was only a year ago that we had a few students from the middle school and a few students from the high school who came before the board to also do a presentation on what they were learning to do with the Chromebooks in their classes. And at that point, we only had the Chromebooks in 8th grade and 9th grade as a pilot. So now you can see the expansion effort that we have put to very, very good use by really embarking on a one-to-one initiative. So all of our students from the elementary level all the way through 12th grade could each have a Chromebook in their hands. Our high school students and our middle school students are now taking them home as well. So in a very, very short period of time, I think it's really worth saying the amazing work that has really taken place place at Erdenheim in order, as Andre said, for the teachers to come on board and to really take up this initiative and to ensure that they were utilizing the Chromebooks in their classrooms. So I really want to thank them for being the lead learners, and you can see what it's done with the students. The students were easily able to take the information, turn it around so that they, in fact, became the teachers to the rest of us. So all of you, thank you so much for a phenomenal job. Andre, thank you for allowing us to move the initiative down into the elementary level, and we hope that everyone enjoyed seeing what the students shared with you this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Real quick, just want to say that now that we brought the Chromebooks to you, you're always more than welcome to come down to Erdenheim and see how we're using them in the classroom. We understand that tonight we had a few technological glitches, but if you ever want to come down and see classrooms using these devices, please stop on in. You're more than welcome to visit. And so just wanted to extend that opportunity. So thank you again.
And for those of you who would like to take your children home so they can work on their homework, now would be a good time.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Okay, everyone, we're going to get back to business here. Back to work. We have a few things to vote on, so I want to get started. Yeah. Okay, so new business. Number 1, personnel attachment. The recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the following personnel as presented in the attachment: administrative personnel, certificated personnel, confidential personnel, support personnel, temporary personnel, extra pay for extra responsibilities, conference workshop attendance. Is there a motion? Second? Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis? Aye. Mr. Lapidus? Aye. Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 2, approval of 6 goals of educational equity. The recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the 6 goals of education equity as per the attached. Attachment II. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second? Second. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis? Aye. Mr. Lapidus? Aye. Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 3, approval of superintendent goals, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the 2015-2016 superintendent goals as per the attached, attachment JJ. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second? Second. Any questions or comments?
I just have a question. These are great goals. I just want to know, like, Nancy, do these just come from a strategic plan review? Are these just things, because I'm new to the board, I don't know where the origin of some of these goals, which I'm not in any way questioning, just curious as to how these are the ones we narrowed down for this school year.
There are 2 essential ways that the goals are formulated. One is from our looking at the data that we have and identifying areas that we feel we need to target for remediation or improvement. So the principals have a large piece in terms of the academic goals, in terms of establishing for their own building the areas that they feel they would like to see worked on for the year. The other areas, whether it's finance or curriculum or whatever, those are generally contributions and discussions between myself and the other administrators. Again, areas that we believe need to be worked on. And then there is a committee of board members that meets with me and we talk about it. And if those committee members have particular areas that they would like to see us working on throughout the district, then they may put forth ideas as well, and together we formulate that into either a goal or an objective.
Thank you.
I just want to piggyback on that because I did want to make a comment that we are a little late getting these goals approved, but that doesn't mean that they haven't been worked on yet. a lot of these things have been in progress since the beginning of the school year, and we're just sort of making it official. This is our third year doing official goals, so they sort of follow from the year before. We kind of piggyback on accomplishments and things we want to see from goals from the prior year. And then some new things come up. For example, we have our big facilities studies and the future of our facilities in consideration right now. So we've been working on these for a little while. It just took a while for it to get final.
And I'd also like to point out that each of the building administrators, as well as the department area heads, curriculum, finance, facilities, and so forth, they all have their own goals, some of which are in tandem with these, others are in addition to these, that they are working on for the year as well, and that's what their evaluations are based on. So at the end of the year, I always submit to the board a large notebook of documentation of progress towards or mastery of these goals.
Thank you. And you do put these on the website too, correct? Yes, we publish these on the website. Anyone else? Mr. King?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis? Aye. Mr. Lapidus? Aye. Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 4, approval of the 2016-2017 membership services budget. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the 2016-2017 Montgomery County membership services budget as follows. Attachment Y. A, Office of Community and Government Relations, Legislative. B, Office of Professional Learning, OPL. C, Office of Technology Services, OTS. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis? Aye. Mr. Lapidus? Aye. Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 5, confidential enrollment contract. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the confidential enrollment contract for student 201-602-16-01 for 109 days during the school year 2015-16. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Mr. King?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus? Aye. Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 6, overnight youth and government club trip. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves an overnight trip by the Youth and Government Club to the Model Legislature Convention in Harrisburg, PA, from April 14 through April 17, 2016, as per the attachment Z. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Mr. King?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus? Aye. Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 7, Delta T Group, Inc. Agreement. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement between Delta T Group, Inc. and the School District of Springfield Township as per the attachment AA. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? Any questions or comments? Mr. King?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis? Aye. Mr. Lapidus? Aye. Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 8, approval of Commonwealth audit. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors accepts the attached Commonwealth Performance Audit Report issued in May 2014. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments?
I just have a question. Since it's from 2014, how come we're seeing it now? I know that we heard about this. I do remember hearing about it, but I'm not sure.
It never made it to the board for acceptance.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? Mr. King?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis? Aye. Mr. Lapidus? Aye. Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 9, approval of donation. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the $2,000 donation from Service Master to be divided equally among the 4 schools in support of the building educational initiatives. A, Enfield, supplies for the STEAM Interactive Assembly. B, Erdenheim, supplies for the exchange teacher to expose students to Chinese culture. C, Middle School, supplies in support of the STEM program. D, High School, equipment in support of the music program. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Second. Any questions or comments? Mr. King?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis? Aye. Mr. Lapidus? Aye. Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 10, approval of change order. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the attached change order to Weiss Electrical Contractors in the amount of $1,394 for the installation of Cat 5e low-voltage cabling to operate the new powered window shades in the cafeteria at Erdenheim. Attachment BB. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Second. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis? Aye. Mr. Lapidus? Aye. Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 11, approval of engineering services. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the following firms to provide engineering services for each of the summer projects listed below, as approved by the Property Committee, based on the attached proposals. Langen Engineering and Environmental Services for the accessible path and tennis court gate at the middle school in the amount not to exceed $11,650 plus expenses. Attachment CC. B, Weatherproofing Technologies, Inc., for the middle school roof replacement in the amount not to exceed $8,200 plus expenses. Attachment DD. C, Environmental Control Systems, Inc., for the removal and replacement of the bus garage underground storage tank in the amount of $10,700 plus expenses. Attachment EE. D, Systems Design Engineering, Inc., for Phase 3 of the building automation system upgrade in the amount to $7,200 plus expenses. Attachment FF. E, Atlantic Aquatic Engineering, Inc., for the high school swimming pool regrouting and refinishing project in the amount of $5,800 plus expenses. Attachment GG. F, Camor, Inc., for the high school auditorium sound upgrades in the amount of $4,000 plus expenses. Attachment HH. Take a breath after that one. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions or comments?
Can I just get a little bit more information about the path to the tennis court? I just didn't know if you could explain what that's about.
We did talk about that in Property Committee, but I'm going to ask Mr. Thorne if he would come up, because of course I can't remember the details.
Good evening. Yeah, we were approached to have paths installed for handicap accessibility for all students to participate in the tennis, as well as to get to the athletic jogging track around the middle school athletic field. So this is for a civil engineer to come in, do the specifications, to have a contractor install these paths.
And right now, there's stairs going up to the...
Correct, with no handicap access at all, as well as the athletic track. Thank you.
Craig, just one quick question. So is this just for the civil engineer to evaluate what has to be done, or is this for the actual path being constructed?
No, it's for him to design specifications to go out for bid, so contractors can bid on what type of path to put in. So, yep. Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
Mr. King.
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis? Aye. Mr. Lapidus? Aye. Ms. Nelson? Aye. Ms. Sarsfield? Aye. Dr. Taratusky? Aye. Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Okay. Public comments on non-agenda items? Okay, future meeting dates, interim board meeting, Tuesday, March 1st, 2016, 7 p.m., Freeze Memorial Lobby. There is a notation that this is tentative, so you'll let us know if we're going to need it or not, depending on if there's anything we need to take action on. Okay? School board meeting, Tuesday, March 15th, 2016, 7 p.m., Freeze Memorial Lobby. There are currently no board committees meetings scheduled. So that's it. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night. Motion to adjourn.